Hi there, Neil here, the Twisted Lightworker. This timeless treasure, we're going to touch on a little bit of Toltec. Carlos Castaneda was the one that brought it to the attention to an awful lot of the world with his books from the, I guess it would be the 60s, 70s, and had a huge following. And also now I follow a fellow by the name of Mark Cloudfoot Gershon. You've probably seen some of his quotes in my videos in the last number of years. Mark is on Facebook, so you can find him there, so definitely look him up and follow. I've collected like 2,000 plus of his quotes. But in the Toltec tradition, there's really two worlds, and this graphic kind of brings it to light in a unique way, because as Tesla said, when you think of the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. So absolutely everything is in a state of flux, and it's in a vibratory condition. Even your body is made up of atoms and molecules that are in vibrating. So everything is in kind of a frequency. Like when Tesla said energy, frequency, and vibration, when you think of the universe, well, most people think that's three things he said. No. It's one thing. It's one universe. And the energy, frequency, and vibration are the attributes of that one thing. So this graphic with the fellow in the clouds, it kind of gives you the idea of the truth. This whole world is an illusion. We think that it's solid, but it really isn't. It's just a mass of endless potential, unlimited potential. And it's vibrating. So that's the most unique way of putting it together. You have to combine a little bit of ancient metaphysics, which is the early forms and the more truthful forms of what today is called quantum physics. Now, the wisdom from the past is actually more accurate than quantum physics, because the quantum physicists try to turn everything into frequencies as in numbers. They try to quantify it. That's how come they call it quantum physics. But metaphysics, there's really no way to quantify what it is that we're talking about. So what we have here is a really unique quote from Mark Cloudfoot Gershon. And it says, "A warrior is in the dream of the world to develop their unique survival and thriving skills and use of resources. A warrior is in the dream of the planet to develop their unique qualities of integration, personal power, and assessment of a path to freedom. It's a wide gamut of creativity for both dreams, especially for those whose dreams reside in both the world and the planet." Now I look at that and say, in the dream of the world, we're more akin to worrying about our own four walls, what we need for our own lives. We start off with just worrying about money for food and shelter. In the dream of the world, we want to use our resources to acquire those things for the food and shelter. And we may stretch out to the dream of the world into our local community and maybe touch on a little bit for the whole country that you live in. But the dream of the world is more isolated to the material plane. Whereas the dream of the planet, as Mark said, let's jump back to that. A warrior is in the dream of the planet to develop their unique qualities of integration, personal power, and assessment to a path of freedom. So let's take a look at that and bring it to a character, and bring it to a person. In the dream of the world, business skills, creativity of orchestrating projects and planning, making things happen. Let's use Trump as a leader. In his years in business, he acquired a great skill of being able to build high-rises and put things together in such a way that he was utilizing the resources of the world, wasn't he? Like in that quote. Let's go back to saying what that actually said there. It said, a warrior is in the dream of the world to develop their unique survival and thriving skills and use of resources. Now, wouldn't you say that from that Trump really fit that category before he became the president? It was all about his survival and thriving skills on the world plane, on the worldly matters. So he was using his warrior spirit and his warrior capabilities to acquire a massive wealth. Massive wealth. But in the dream of the planet, now he's much more into the dream of the planet because he's putting things together so that it's a benefit to the whole of humanity, from the North Pole all the way to the South Wall, all the way to the South Wall. So that goes back into warriors in the dream of the planet to develop their unique qualities of integration, personal power, and assessment of a path to freedom. And to continue on, it is a wide gamut of creativity for both dreams, especially for those whose dream resides in both the world and the planet. So you can see the Toltec tradition with the dream of the world and dream of the planet really has a very valuable information, a very valuable philosophy. It is really powerful when we really understand that quote. So I encourage you to screen capture that quote. That's why I put it in there in complete form so that you're able to do that. And ponder it once in a while. Ponder where you fit. Are you using all your survival and thriving skills in the dream of the world? Are you more apt to be more concerned of the dream of the planet, where you want to integrate and transform the consciousness? So we really have two levels, don't we? So the above level would be the dream of the planet. The frequency is the collective consciousness of all of humanity in the whole world. Whereas below that, we've got the dream of the world, where we're worrying about our own needs and our own basic survival and thriving skills. So that should give you a little bit of an idea when I talk about the dream of the world and the dream of the planet in numerous of my talks. So as you can see, that really gives you an overview, and it's a completion for today's timeless treasure. I hope that you revisit this video a few times and like and subscribe, and follow me on my Rumble channel and all my video platforms. I'm on Rumble, YouTube, BitChute, and Brighteon. Yeah, most definitely. So follow that playlist and keep up with the timeless treasures. I'm going to be adding more. Hopefully I'll get it to the point where I'm adding 1 or 2 per week. I haven't gained the momentum into that yet, but I will be. So like, subscribe, watch the channel, watch the playlist, and as always, from that spark of the divine that's inside me, that spark of the warrior spirit that's inside me, that seems to be more tuned into the dream of the planet, because I certainly haven't acquired a massive amount of wealth, but at the same time, wisdom. To be able to share some of these deeper thoughts, my study of ancient metaphysics and Toltec and spirituality, put into some of my videos, in fact, most of them. So like, subscribe. A big thank you and a shout out to all those people who have subscribed to my channel, bought me a coffee. A huge thank you for those. And I'm starting to have a few people from that same link, the buy me a coffee link. If you really like and want to support, what you can do is join my monthly subscribers and buy me a coffee or 2 or 3 every month. Yeah, up to $9, 3 coffees a month. So from that spark of the divine that's deep inside me, that connects to the total universal consciousness, dream of the planet, yeah, I wish you and yours peace profound.